Yes, because obviously they have to have a driver's license and they have to be able to have insurance. So they'll go and purchase insurance. The driver, if they don't have it, these coordinators see to it that they go out and get a policy and get the coverage. And Ron was right. You know, we talk about the $10,000, but the way PIP works, it's $10,000 per person, and that's why you saw 4 and 5 people in each car. So you stage one crash, you have $100,000. You know, 4 or 5 people in each car, you have $100,000 worth of coverage. That because the way the PIP law works, the insurance companies have a very short window of time to even question the legitimacy of those charges. They have to be paid within 30 days. And for them to deny coverage, they have to go through fairly substantial steps to deny coverage. So, you know, they get these limits typically within a couple of weeks. They'll have, you know, 4, 5, 6 visits a week to try to hit that limit as quickly as possible, knowing that the insurance companies have very little recourse in most cases to pay it, because under the statute they have to.
Is there anything that can be done within the law to help minimize this kind of?
Well, I think, you know, certainly there needs to be a revisiting of the legislation dealing with the PIP requirements, and you know, that was a big issue last year when the PIP requirements sunsetted, and you know, there was a big scramble, and there was a lot of lobbying going on to try to reinstitute that, but I think if you looked at the amount of fraud resulting from these PIP claims, and looked at the states the 11 states that require it, you probably find a correlation between high fraud claims with PIP and the 11 states that require it, simply because of the nature of the PIP, the way it works.
So you understand how this fraud works at the treatment end. As Chief Deputy DeCobo has already indicated, these accidents have minimal damage, and virtually none of the participants are injured. The intent is that they are not going to be injured, but that they are going to make personal injury protection, PIP claims, to the insurance company. And how that works is, in virtually every case we've seen, when you have a criminal organization doing this kind of thing, it's very disciplined, it's very organized. And what happens is somebody will rehearse with that person who's been in the staged accident exactly what he should or should not say to the treating doctor or chiropractor when he goes to that clinic. Like, it hurts here or it doesn't hurt there, or you know, things with what hurts or what range of motion you have and so on. So that even if the chiropractor is on the up and up, many of them are and many of them are not, depends on the case, the chiropractor can be in some cases fooled to believe the person is actually hurt, and so cooperates in writing up these PIP claims when in fact the person has not been injured at all. But it's all very well rehearsed, it's all very well orchestrated, and that's basically how it works from start to finish.
I'd like to go ahead and introduce one of the detectives who worked undercover, and if you have some questions for him, he'll be happy to answer them. I'd like to tell you he's wearing the hood to hide his identity, but he looks better with it on.
Can you use your first name or something we can use to title you by?
Ronnie Cooper.
Okay.
Sorry, what was that again? Mike?
Ronnie Cooper.
What was it like? How did you get involved in it? And
Well, again, as they've said earlier, once the accident investigators noticed a trend, we're latent investigators, so it was brought down to our office, and we began an investigation. From the initial beginning of the investigation, we didn't realize how intense it was going to get. During the course of the investigation, we interviewed and talked to several subjects that wanted to help themselves out and provide us information. From there, we opened up several cases on several different organizations. From the time period since September, we've used undercovers to infiltrate probably 3 different organizations and to also assist in staging crashes. One of our undercovers was actually recruited as a coordinator for one of the clinics. He coordinated an accident, and he subsequently went to the clinic and started his treatment. As you see on the boards, there's just in the 7 or 8 months that we were doing this, we have built several different cases against each organization. And like Mr. Shalou said earlier, with the charges and the prosecution, we've charged most of them with the racketeering statute. So they're looking at a substantial amount of time. It's not just a third-degree felony.
Were you involved in one of the crashes, though? Were you in one of the crashes?
I'm the case agent for almost all the cases, yes.
Can you describe being in the car or what happened?
Just like the chief said earlier, typically what they'll do is the coordinator or the runner, they'll go out and they'll recruit these people, and you need 2 vehicles to cause the accident. In law enforcement, as far as with our paperwork, it's vehicle 1 and vehicle 2. Vehicle 1 being the striking vehicle and vehicle 2 being the struck vehicle. They like to put 4 to 5 people in the struck vehicle because more PIP claims, and then 1 person in the striking vehicle. Typically, the person in the striking vehicle gets paid a little bit more money, just because once they have the accident, then they're done. They'll go on their way, and the people in the struck vehicle, 4 or 5 people, then they'll be directed by the coordinator to different clinics.
Ronnie, what was your role, though, in this thing? How did you interact with these suspects? Did you become friends with them, gain their trust? Tell us about that.
I personally didn't. I don't speak Spanish, so I was limited to running the investigations along with my partner. And they, on several different cases that we worked, where a detective was undercover with the suspects, they met up the different houses, different locations within Hillsborough County, and sometimes they would actually cause the damage to the vehicles at their house. One took a crowbar and started jumping on the bumper and trying to rip it off, so that way they could push it back on and drive down the street, and they had the accident. So there's several different ways that they'll cause the damage to the vehicles prior to the accident to try to make it look like that the accident occurred on the street.
Did you actually take part in a staged accident yourself, or just I know you're the case agent, or were there other people doing that?
My partner did that.
Okay. And did you ever work inside one of the clinics? I know that somebody infiltrated one of the clinics. Did you do that, or?
That was my partner.
Can you tell us anything about the individuals? Did they ever seem regret about what they were doing? Were they pleased that they were getting this money?
Yeah, during the course of the investigation, everything we did was audio taped and or videotaped. So everything that the correspondence between the undercover detective and or the individuals that decided to help themselves out is audio taped and videotaped. And it's so blatant that we've seen that they would be in open restaurants in Hillsborough County talking about it, and they didn't care who was around. There was people that weren't even undercovers that they're blatant about it. I'll just put it to you that way. Right now they're fearless. They really don't think that they're going to get caught, and if they do get caught, they think that they're just going to get a ticket or probation. But in this case, I don't see that happening.
Okay. All right. If anybody, we'll be around for a few minutes. So if anybody has any individual questions, you can get with Wayne or Ron or Ronnie. So again, thank you.